Mumma. This is the classic but somewhat forgotten Swedish beverage Mumma. Or this is industrial produced, and these are the ingredients for mixing your own Mumma. So I got a question the other week about Mumma and if it's common in Sweden, and I realized I don't know practically anything about this beverage. And from what I can remember, I haven't tasted it either. But I got really curious and started to do some research, and today I know a little bit more. So the story begins in Germany, in a city called Braunschweig. And there they made a dark, sweet and very strong beer, which they called Mumme. And it became known under the name Braunschweig Mumme because of the city. This beer was exported far away from Germany and got popular up in Sweden, especially for different holidays. But then in the 1800s, the beer stopped being produced, or at least exported, and because the Swedes missed this beer so much, they started to mix their own, and thus the Mumma was born. So today we will mix our own and then compare it to the macro version. This one is brewed by Falcon, which is owned by Carlsberg, the Danish conglomerate. So maybe it's available in other countries as well. Many recipes contain this soda, sockerdricka. It's also a Swedish classic, which you don't see too often anymore. My grandmother used to mix low alcohol beer and sockerdricka to get her perfect party beverage. But I thought, let's find a recipe which you as well can mix in your country, if you're not Swedish. A simple recipe you can mix just before it's being served. You need one bottle. This is 33 centiliter. I don't know if you have another name for that in the States. With classic German or Czech styled beer. You should always have a bottle of Pilsner Urquell at home anyway. One small bottle, 33 centiliters again, of porter. This one, brewed by Carlsberg, Carnegie Porter, is apparently the best one. But as long as you use an old school, low bitterness kind of porter, it will do fine. We will have some vodka. This one is called Renat. But I guess absolute vodka or any kind with as little flavor as possible. And we will have 1 deciliter of that one. This is less than a cup, 0.4 cup, I think. And the same of the Madeira, a strong, sweet wine from Portugal. Oh man, I am getting thirsty. So let's start with the Madeira. Woo. So 1 deciliter or 0.4 cup. Oh, almost. I act like a professional, but really, I have no idea what I'm doing. Everything is straight from the fridge, by the way. You shouldn't have ice in Mumma, so mix everything cold. 1 deciliter or 0.4 cup of vodka. Porter. This one you have to pour carefully and slowly, similar to a Hefeweizen, right? Because it will be a lot of foam otherwise. No foam at all almost. And then the European lager. Absolutely no modern American hops here. Oh, it won't fit, will it? Note to self. Buy a bigger pitcher. It actually fits. Beautiful. Let's stir carefully. I don't know if that's necessary really, but alright, let's have a taste. Woo. The wine is kind of dominating. It's a sort of a port aroma. And of course, Pilsner Urquell also has a bit of that buttery aroma. I think I can get that as well. Figs and a bit nutty. It's somewhat similar of a doppelbock, but without any coffee or chocolate notes. But let's see what it tastes like. Skål! That's really pleasant. You have the figs and the raisins, pretty low bitterness. I do get some of the vodka, but I am a bit sensitive about high alcohol liquor and that kind of booziness. You know, I've talked about it before. Oh, I forgot to tell you who shared the recipe. It's a famous Swedish personality called Edvard Blom. He has his own YouTube channel and is a frequent guest on different YouTube shows and TV shows. Unfortunately, he only lectures in Swedish, but he's really knowledgeable about food and beverages, including beer, and the history surrounding it. So much of the information about Mumma, including the recipe, is from Edvard Blom. But yeah, he said you can reduce the vodka to half, but not exclude it, then the taste will change too much. I think some Mumma recipes are sweeter. Especially if you include sockerdricka. I know some people have brandy and different Christmas spices. But yeah, this is perfect as a welcome drink. And people say it works with the Swedish Christmas food as well. Did you see? I just poured up one more automatically. This is lovely. Maybe a bit too boozy for me. Next time I will try to reduce the vodka a bit. If you go into Untapped, for instance, and search Mumma, you will see that there has been several different versions sold in Sweden, but it seems like they sell too poorly and they give up the production. But this one has been around for many years, and it could be that Carlsberg are big enough to not worry about losing some money if they have a place on the Christmas shelf, you know. Oh, this is a completely different smell. Oh, what is that spice called in English? Cardamom. Cardamom is the dominating aroma. Kind of hard to smell anything else, actually. Yeah, that's all I get, but it is a dominating spice, right? Let's dig in. Skål! It's not as dominating in the taste. It is there, but it's pretty light, refreshing, no bitterness. Is there really alcohol? Yeah, 5.2%. This confuses me because usually you look for the malt, you look for the hop bitterness, the fruity hop aroma, but I have a hard time finding any of those. Let's see what Systembolaget says. They always have a description about the taste. Spicy, sweet taste with hints of cardamom, rye crisp bread. If you remember this one, I've talked about it before. It's for describing a very bready taste. Pale syrup, cinnamon, ginger, bitter orange, and chocolate. I only get the cardamom. Maybe I can get a little bit of that bitter orange or some sort of vague orange zest, but I can't find the other things. Cinnamon, maybe, because it's so common in Sweden to mix cinnamon and cardamom. But yeah, if you compare to our mix, I definitely prefer this one. So let me know in the comments if you have ever tried Mumma, or if you will mix your own inspired by this video. Check out my other Swedish beer videos in this playlist, and remember, drink responsibly.